We're also going to talk about public finance regulations. We are going to talk about the PFM Act, that is 2012, sorry. We're also going to touch on the Constitution altogether. Most of them, if you look at the Constitution, those will be like our small Bibles when we are talking about, that is the public finance. They will be like our small Bible. Together on Tito, are we together? That is the first aspect in terms of skills and others. And I hope you're enjoying the class. Then, on the taxation part, we call it non-complex. You'll be basically adding what's called non-complex tax computation, tax computation, tax computation, tax computation, and you're doing it for what they call for individuals, non-complex tax computation, that is basically for individuals, and what they call the corporates. Corporates are company. And I want to synthesize this. This class is very important. I wanted to skip it, but very important towards understanding what you intend to do. So Evans, the two Evans, when I say Evans, is all of you. I am speaking to the all class. So what you're going to do in the intermediate, you're going to do tax, but this one will be what they call non-complex. It will be general. I'm not going to teach you how we tax probably a specialist company, how we tax the bank, how we tax insurance company, how we tax extraction companies, how we tax seas and air undertaking, how we tax, let's say, for example, how we carry out installment tax. But it will teach you a general concept, limited company in general. So you're not going to do specialized. So specialized will come for those who are advanced in taxation. And I believe all of you are going to enjoy it and probably advance in taxation. So that is what we call non-complex tax computation. That is at individual levels, but at the same time, we call it at corporate level. Corporate is limited company. Individuals are going to talk about how do we calculate pay. You're going to talk about how do we calculate pay, employment income. We shall be able to teach. And the calculation that I will be teaching, you realize that in exam, you will have those calculation. So that is what we call the unit description. Together, I hope that is at home. So then I proceed to what we call learning outcomes. My expectation for the learners at the end of the day, once I have taught these outcomes, that is what we call the learning outcomes. We call it the learning outcomes. Learning outcomes. And very important fundamental that we did talk about, even on the intermediate, on the foundation when we were meeting. Let's make the journey more important than all the things that come on our way. Let's make the journey more practical and more important. Let's focus on the journey. Let's not listen to noise, but let's listen to the journey and make sure that we are faithful to the journey. That is the most important thing as we partake of this class. So what do I expect by the end of this unit? By the end of covering PFT, this is what apply public finance management. A student should be able to apply what we call public finance. We call it management requirements. Apply what we call the public finance management requirements. You should be able to apply what we call public finance management requirements in practice. These are basically now non-complex. In practice, apply it in practice in non-complex environment. In what we call in non-complex environment. In what's called the non-complex environment. Public finance management plan